Guys, what's up? This is GI, and you're watching Wrestling Rants. I want to touch on some wrestling this week. There's a lot of things going on, particularly Seth Rollins coming back. He came back on Monday Night Raw. I think it would have been a little bit better if he would have come out on Extreme Rules. That would have been a little bit more interesting, and then give him something to talk about at Monday Night Raw. But nonetheless, Seth Rollins is back. It's gonna be a little bit more entertaining again. Um, the Extreme Rules pay-per-view was okay. It wasn't the best I've seen of the Extreme Rules pay-per-views or any of the other pay-per-views. It wasn't really anything that was greater than anything else. It could have been a missed pay-per-view. Yeah, it could have been. There wasn't really much going on. There was a good four-way match. Cesaro did great. Kevin Owens always does great. I've always said that. Dolph Ziggler, excellent as well. Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles, that was a good match. It was predictable. I think I knew what was gonna happen. You always know what's gonna happen if you're a big fan and you go into the websites and look around and look out for scripts. But the whole purpose of wrestling is to give you the perspective of you don't know what's gonna happen, and this made it for those people that don't do that don't go out looking for spoilers or whatnot. This was one of the matches where I thought you can see that Roman Reigns was still gonna be the victor. Um, Everything else was okay. I didn't think much of it. I didn't think it was such a great event that I was gonna go crazy about it. Which is probably why you didn't see me posting much about it on Facebook, Twitter, or the Instagram. But this week we do have a lot of things going on. We have Cody Rhodes. He gives WWE the boot due to some disinterest with the writers' decisions in the direction that he wants to go as far as his character is concerned. I think he got tired of being Stardust and it wasn't working for him. He wanted to bring back Cody Rhodes, and he wanted to create his legacy and contain his father's legacy and carry it with him as Cody Rhodes, not as Stardust, which pretty much to me, Stardust was a comical relief. There's always a comical relief in WWE. Santino Marella was one of them. Damien Sandow was another one, and you know where that goes. So I understand where Cody Rhodes was coming from as far as deciding to leave the company. He did state that he will not let Stardust be his father's legacy. He stated that one writer, this was on his Twitter, one writer pretending to be Brian Gerwitz, and the other was too busy hitting on developmental divas. He's a wrestler, and that's what he's going to do, and he might even have an offer out there. So it could be anybody. It could be TNA. So his options are open. Obviously, he's a great performer. If you've watched Cody Rhodes perform, he's got the skills to entertain, and he's also somebody that's willing to go to to do his best. He gives 110%. You see how Stardust was he was way out there. He was extravagant, just like Goldust, but it wasn't something that Cody Rhodes wanted to pursue, and it wasn't something that Cody Rhodes was looking into it being who he is, as far as us thinking about him 10 years from now, 10 years down the line. Goldust has stated that he's not thinking about leaving anytime soon. There were rumors, as soon as somebody's brother quits a company, they're automatically going to start thinking about you. He immediately shut that down by saying he wasn't thinking about leaving anywhere. The person who did leave was Cody's wife, Eden Rhodes. She also requested to be released. Being that her husband just left, she had 2 more months to go on her contract. Didn't make any sense to her to stay, so she decided to ask for an early release, which the WWE they gave her the release without any issues. Her Twitter feed, her blog actually, she stated that it was amicable and there was no love lost. So that's a good thing. I mean, that hopefully leaves open opportunities for Cody in the future. I understand where Cody's coming from as far as the writers. There are a lot of people that I know that were wrestling fans are not wrestling fans anymore, just for the simple fact that the writing, most of the writing sucks, and they'll tell you to your face the writing sucks. It's pretty predictable. There are things that are very predictable. Some things are very well done, and you see me giving it a lot of props. But if it keeps going that way, I mean, the fans are noticing it, the wrestlers are noticing it. That should be a sign for WWE, and hopefully they are taking note out of these situations. Now, rumor has it that they are cleaning house. They did really release about 8 or 9 wrestlers already. The last one was Adam Rose. He was released after his suspension. Ryback might be he's in the rumor mill that he might be the next out the door. This is because he's been MIA, missing in action for a couple of weeks, especially after the conflict that he's had with the contract disputes that he's had with the company. So I believe I touched on this before. It was something where Ryback didn't feel that he felt like everyone should be getting paid equally. I disagreed with that. It depends on who's performing the best. I think deserves the most. It's mostly a crowd-based company. So if you're drawing the crowds, then you do deserve the props, and you deserve the money. So that was my touch on it. I don't know if you guys feel any different. If you do, I understand that as well. I mean, I would like to be getting paid the same amount of money as John Cena's getting paid, or the same amount of money as someone like Brock Lesnar is getting paid. But am I the type of wrestler that's going to be able to bring out that kind of crowd every time, everywhere I go? Ryback, John Cena, Ryback, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. No, it's a big difference. So that's where I disagree with him. Now, the last thing I looked into was Raw and SmackDown is going to be splitting up. SmackDown will now be live as well. I believe it's going to be every Tuesday now. So we have Raw on Monday, SmackDown on Tuesday, and they're both going to be live. The good and bad of that is, the good for some superstars is going to be less matches. So, you'll be performing for Raw. You won't have to perform for SmackDown. So there's less matches, less wear and tear on your body. The bad that it could be less money. That could be the bad. But there's a lot of good to it. There's more room for the lower tier superstars to come out and shine and show their skills, not just be sitting in the background or doing off TV, off air performances. Bailey, Finn Balor, most of the NXTs, what we like to call veterans, now have more of an opportunity to move up into the main roster because of it, because now there's 2 sections. You obviously have to split the 2. They will be having a draft very soon, so you'll have to split the 2. You'll need some more room for people. The Divas division, this is really good for the Divas division because they're definitely going to need to bring more Divas in. They're already pushing some in from the from NXT, so you'll see more room for. I think I've seen Emma wrestle about 5 or 6 times already, back to back with different people, and there's other wrestlers out there, women wrestlers, so that could give a lot of room to and opportunities to these girls. I think it's a good thing. Having competition, whether it's your company, even though it's the same company, it's still good because you're gonna want to outshine the other, and hopefully that's what happens, that they try to outshine each other, and that will bring out the performance factor of all the wrestlers, and hopefully with that comes, bonuses and something better for them as far as them financially, to continue to pursue working for the WWE, and unfortunately not seeing good wrestlers go away, such as the case with Stardust, or Cody Rhodes. Um, now, now I think that it's also a bigger plan, bigger picture in the background, because I was just looking into WWE's. If you go to WWE's career section, there's 39 available spots out there. As far as career wise is concerned, if you want to pursue some work with the WWE, go on to their website and check them out. They have 39 available spots. This might be possible growth, more options, more ideas that they're coming up with. It's possible. I have looked into them before, and I don't think I've seen that many career positions available. Um, the big reboot, will it help the WWE? I think so, because they can even play with it a little bit. They can have one that's more edgy than the other, and they can touch base and see what's drawing the most. Is it the PG where we're at now, or is it pushing the level, pushing the barrier and getting to the edge of the rated R era, and bring that back a little bit. They've done that a little bit in certain cases, just kind of like teased it a bit, and it does work. I mean, you don't only have kids watching, you have parents watching, you have diehard fans watching, and they're right now diehard fans are mostly in their 30s. Myself, I'm in my 30s, so it's something that keeps us entertained, and if it's just PG or constantly, it kind of gets dull, kind of gets boring. I understand it. I understand that PG's theory is getting all the kids out there to want to watch wrestling. But even when I'm watching it with the kids, they're not that interested when it's PG level. Once I start showing them WWE Raw back in the day, the Attitude Era, those things get their attention. They want to see the flying techniques. They want to see the Dudley Boys doing 3Ds. They like to see Stone Cold Stunners left and right. The Rock with his jokes, and it's just more entertaining. So it keeps people watching. And especially if you have a 3-hour show, you definitely want to have something that's entertaining that keeps people watching. Which is where I think they should consider going with. Now there's another rumor that there might be a new title as well due to the split. So a SmackDown World Heavyweight title or Raw World Heavyweight title. I don't know what's gonna be the idea of that. I guess yes, that would be that would be a good concept. Hey, I mean, they might even change SmackDown's name to something else, and give it its own give it its own life, a new life of its own, and not just be stuck with the stigma of SmackDown. SmackDown has always been known to be the beast, the B section, pretty much. There are times that if I didn't want to watch SmackDown, because I knew that it was just going to be a push to Raw, and it's not even a great push. Even when you see pay-per-views coming up, SmackDown is pretty much the 80 or 75% of it is pretty much promo to getting to the pay-per-view, instead of having good matches, good performances, and just moving on with their day-to-day basis, like like it should be. And I mean, if you want to have somebody come in there and interrupt a match, a regular match, because they have a pay-per-view coming up, sure, that's fine. But when you have them, every wrestler that comes in, New Day comes in, they're gonna talk about who they're gonna be fighting for a good 15 minutes. Go to commercials, come back, then you have John Cena comes out. He's gonna do his talk. Everybody has a speech nowadays. Back then there weren't too many people that had the speeches, especially not as long as they are now. So hopefully that changes as well, and that will bring more entertainment and show off the talent of the wrestlers that they have, especially now that they have such young wrestlers coming up from NXT. You want to be able to show off their technique and their skills before they get too old, and then it's too late to do so. And then you're trying to get them to do it at an older age where they bust their kneecaps or break their necks, and it's too late. Such is the fact of Sting. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole wrestling thing right now, with SmackDown and Raw breaking up, like I would say. Now, if I was to say Shane McMahon or Stephanie, who would get what? I think Shane should stick with Raw. I think Shane should take Raw, and I think Stephanie should get SmackDown. They might do it the other way around, because it's Stephanie, but I think Shane should run Raw. It already has that name of pushing the envelope. Why not give it to Shane? He likes to push the envelope. Look what he did on the last pay-per-view. And then Stephanie can have SmackDown, turn that into her baby. Triple H has NXT. He's always had NXT, and see what happens there. Hey, you guys, let me know what you think. These are my thoughts on the WWE. They do need some push, a little bit more push, and a little bit more entertainment factor, and they do need to get those wrestlers that actually have some skill, more skill, I would say, not some skill, because there are performers out there that know what they know how to perform as far as wrestling techniques are concerned, but because of their character, they're not built that way. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Stephanie should take Raw or SmackDown? You think Shane should take Raw, SmackDown? What do you think about Seth Rollins coming in? Oh, by the way, Seth Rollins, I really like the fact that he was working Monday Night Raw. He came in, everybody was cheering for him, and he kept to his character of, hey, you guys shouldn't be cheering for me. You guys hated me, and now you want to cheer for me because you have Roman Reigns and you don't like Roman Reigns. It was too bad. I'm not your friend. I'm not here for you. I'm here for me, which is great. I loved it because that was sticking to the character and taking control of the crowd, which is what a real professional wrestler does and can do. So big props to him for doing that. Randy Orton, he's going to be having his second baby soon in the fall. So congratulations, Randy. Hopefully we get to see you back on the ring, so you can perform and show us your talent. I've always thought you were one of the best, and hopefully we'll get to see you there soon. I did hear rumors that he was interested in wrestling with AJ Styles. So AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. I see how that could be entertaining. You know, hey, Randy can get a great RKO off of AJ coming off of the ropes there. So we'll see. Hey, you guys, let me know what you think. Give us your thoughts on what did you think about Extreme Rules. Who do you think should run Raw or SmackDown? What do you think about having a new belt? What would the belt be called? Should SmackDown change the name of their show? You let me know. This is Frank. This is Fight Rant, and you guys can follow us. We have a website, fightrant.com, where we have boxing, UFC rankings in there as well. If you're interested in that, you can check it out. We also have a Facebook, Twitter, and a Instagram account, which you guys can go ahead and share, subscribe, like, become friends, hit us up, yell at us, scream at us, Tell me you love me. Tell me you hate me. Whatever you want to do, just go ahead and do it whenever you please to do so. Okay, guys? Hey, thanks for your time. You guys enjoy. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. That's it.